26th July 2026. I'm currently looking at pre-market open. Currently there aren't any setups that I'm seeing. I've only got two indexes that I have, which is German 40 and the Nikkei 225, Japan 225. Yeah, so Forex, I'm not seeing anything yet. Most likely gonna come back tomorrow after market close. Not even market close, but tomorrow evening after market open. Right, and just have a look again at the Forex pairs and see what's happening. I did have an idea on EURJPY, but not a concrete idea. Like I said, tomorrow you're gonna tell everything, the movement, right? We did break some highs over there on EURJPY. Right. Could be that we could be retracing back to this level over here. Right, this looks really nice for a pullback on EURJPY. We treat that as our previous higher low and our higher high before the break. Our last area of proper structure was this move from here to there. Right, so we'll treat this as our point of liquidity. Right, these two areas over here. And this is where it all started, this break. If you're marking that area out, the point of interest. We've got this area over here where I'd like to see the market come back into, and then possibly head up back higher. But again, when I look at this level, I think of the Euro AUD trade that we had looked into last week. This area over here looks like an area of liquidity, right? So it's not a real concrete level. Like I said, the only way I could be taking this trade is if I see some sort of exhaustion, right, as the market comes back down into this level, right? Then I'd consider taking a buy back up, right? But all will be revealed tomorrow when market opens, and I'll decide from them. But this does look like an area of liquidity, like the market will just sweep this area, come back down to this area, right? But yeah, like I said, German 40 I've been eyeing it for quite some time. I think it's been 2 weeks now where I've been waiting for this setup to play out. Didn't really think it's going to take this long, and I didn't really think it's going to be consolidating like this. Sorry, let me just remove this. If I remove everything, so German 40, we had a break of structure towards the upside. We had a high over here. We had a high over there, and then we had a higher low. High low over there. Right. From that high low, we broke up towards the upside. We smashed through that high over there and created a new higher high. Right, which is this point over here. And now, since the 7th of July, we've been pulling back into this range, right? We are stuck in this range. But now I would have thought the market would have probably tapped into this area over here, right? But if I mark it up as a point, just 1 second, I would have loved to see the market tap into this area and not just stall just above it, because anything could happen at this point. We could just have the market breaking down, collecting these lows, and then shoot up, because at the end of the day, if you're looking at the overall trend, right, that's what exactly we had over here, right? Market smashed through there, and we went for these areas over here, right? So what could happen is that, yes, we do have a high over there and a higher high. We could go down just to collect this liquidity over here, right? Generate some liquidity so that we can continue back up again. But we'll only see. What I'm only focusing on right now is this area over here. If I jump onto the forward time frame, there's a demand area sitting just below this blue line. So if I'm marking it out, it's this area. We've got a doji candle. There was a huge movement off that area, right, that we never came back to retest. So I'm expecting some sort of reaction, right? in this area. So something like that. I don't know what's going on with my mouse. My mouse is just tweaking. So I'm expecting a move. Sorry, man. Let me just try it out. I'm expecting a move that comes into this level, takes us back up again. Right? These will be also highs that we can liquidate. Right. So yeah, German 40. That's what I'm looking at. Not a concrete idea, like I said, because we're stalling above this point of entry. Stalling above it, so there could be a break towards the upside, then we do that. Who knows? So only way is to just wait and see. Then I said the Nikkei 225, the Japanese index, so that's J225. All right, J225. I was just annotating when I was analyzing this market a bit earlier on. What am I expecting to see in this market? This market is also currently in an uptrend, but I'm also liking the way it's been moving. Right, it's been moving following structure. Right, we see that we have a high over there and a high low over there. Now you're probably asking, why aren't we targeting this area over here as a point of interest? Right, there is no liquidity that's clear. I wouldn't consider this area as a large area of liquidity that can actually stop a movement this big from actually continuing down, because this is a lot of movement, right? This is a lot of orders, people driving price down. So we don't have nearly as much liquidity in this area that could stop this entire price movement. That's just how I'm perceiving it. So the next point that I would be eyeing would be below these lows over here, right? So this would be my high, right, and my high low. So if I'm drawing it out and I mark my point, right, that would be my point over there. If I remove that, oh sorry, this would be my point of interest, considering that this over here is our high low and our higher high over here. So I'm waiting for price to take this low and give us a reaction. Give us a reaction in this zone over here. Right, we take this low, give us a reaction, and then, so the reason why I won't be taking the trade exactly on this point of interest, I'm rather going to wait for the price to tap into this area and not trade it off the break of structure and wait for demand. No, I'll rather wait for the market to create higher highs and higher lows, so that this time around I can actually catch it, show off the movement, right, towards the upside. Because what could happen is that it could tap into this area, break structure, only to find that it's liquid, it's creating liquidity, right, takes that high and just topple down and continue towards the downside. So I'll rather wait for it to actually create structure towards the upside, and then I'll capitalize on the higher highs and high lows it's making, right? Because this does look like a daily trade, a trade that could be taken on daily. So there's no point in actually for me to wait for price to tap into this area and then just have a limit and wait for it. So I'm more than happy to actually wait for this price to just play out and catch the waves towards the upside. But yeah, I think tomorrow will be a better day because the market would have moved, shown us how the week might look like. So possibly if there is any setup that I see, or if there are any setups that I see tomorrow after 8 p.m. or something, I'll probably drop a video just to see and share my insights on what I see. If there isn't, then I'll have to sit this one out this week and just watch how it goes. Thank you.